or power. And power is defined as the ability to do work over time. So the more energy you have, then the more work that you can get done, and the more you can leverage your own personal time and energy. And so you tap into two of those energy sources by what you value and what you're passionate about. The third is what you have vision for. So what do I see possible in these areas, right? So when you're looking at it, what do you see possible? If you're looking at your health and business and wealth, right, and all these things, you see, well, what do I see possible? Well, imagine, I see this huge business where we take people, we don't just, sell DVDs, we actually have people come to us and we work with them one-on-one and take them through the process step by step, and we give them everything they need. We give them the food, we take them to the gym and have the exercise equipment there for, and we have trainers that work with them step by step. And suddenly you start to see this grand vision of how all these values can be generated for you and for others, right? And like, consider that the bigger that vision gets, right, that vision like contains all the value that you can give, right? Because you're seeing ways that you can create value, or the way that you can do that by giving people the food and taking them to the gym, and that's creating value in their life, right? So the bigger that vision gets, the more you grow that vision, right, that like contains all the value that you can give to others and create for yourself. And so as you see that vision more clearly, right, suddenly you're going to identify areas that you need to get good at. So you may look at that and go, well, I'm really passionate about, it's really important to me, my health is really important to me, I'm really passionate about it, and I see this grand vision of how I could create this incredible organization that delivers intense amounts of value to the world. But to be honest, frankly, I don't know a whole lot about health, right? And I don't know a whole lot about eating diet, right? I don't know a lot about diet, and I don't know a lot about exercise. I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot, right? And so you see these two areas that you can start to get good at, right? And then you see where you need to have talent in order to create the organization that you see possible. So then, right, then it's just a matter of like going and getting good at that. So now you know exactly what you need to get good at. And then you can just go and do that. And since it's important to you, you're passionate about it, you have this vision that you're working towards, right? Then you can, when you go to get good at it, then like it keeps you persistent, right? Because you're passionate about it, it's important to you. You see this vision that you're working towards, so you stay persistent and getting good at it, and you move far, far beyond what you would in an area that you're not passionate about. And ultimately, right, what you're good at will determine the value that you can exchange with others in a business, because you can't exchange something with others that you're not good at, right? That you don't have value to give, you can't exchange. And so all these areas lead to ultimately you getting really, 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 really good at a particular subject, whether it's health or business building or marketing or whatever it is. You're getting really, 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 really good at it, and you give yourself that ability to create values for others. Now, what's really, really cool about this is that when you start to look at this, you can really see where you are at in the process, right? You can see if you were lacking, like you're not doing something that is important to you, right? And so then you realize, well, I'm at step number 1. I need to start figuring out what's important to me, what I value most, and where I want to operate. Or maybe you are doing something that's important to you, but it's not necessarily something that you have a vision for, right? Or you haven't created that vision yet. And so then okay, well then I need to start working on creating that vision. I need to stand more and more for what I value in my own life by personally go getting what I value personally, and the people that are immediately around me, like helping them too. And so then you can see that you're in that area, or you can see that you're at the getting good area, right? Maybe you have this vision, you have this brilliant vision, it's in the area that you value, you're completely passionate about it, but I mean, just because you have a vision for it doesn't mean, right, that you're necessarily good at it. So then you're in the stage of, well, I gotta go get good. And so then, okay, I'm in that stage. And ultimately what happens is, when you look at this and you know exactly where you are, like, even just knowing where you are creates an amount of certainty, right? Like, I know where I am, and so then I know where I need to go now. And so you don't have to stress out about, okay, well, I don't have the business that I want, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have it, Instead of focusing on what you don't have, you're just focusing on where you are and then where you need to go. And then you can just go do it, right? And you can create certainty in the path that you're walking and then the actions that you're taking. And also allow you to see where you need to go next, okay? So when you do that, right, suddenly when you get all these things to align into place, then you kind of create, it's like you turn the switch on your own energy source, or your source of genuine power, and your ability, or which is your ability to create value. So we talked about this earlier, that power, right, is the ability to do work over time. And so when we're talking about humans and business and life, the work part of that we want to do is the ability to create value, right? We want to be able to create enormous amounts of value over short amounts of time. And the more we can do that, then the more we can exchange that with our marketplace, and then receive the value back from that in the form of, most often, money, right? So by putting these four elements together, you tap into that source of genuine power, or you give yourself the ability to create value. And ultimately, the more you tap into that power source, the more you clarify each one of these areas, then the more value you're able to create, and you become a value generating machine. So one example or analogy I like to use is, if you've ever seen any of those sci-fi, mostly Egyptian movies, where they have like some kind of orb or some kind of block, and there's like four of them, and they got to get set in the certain place inside a pyramid, and then when they do, and the light shines at the correct time, then suddenly all this energy is created, and this power, and it's like the power to rule the world or whatever. Like, consider that this is a lot like that. When you put each one of these orbs into place, your values, your passion, your vision, and your talents, you like turn on that energy source, right? And you give yourself the ability to instantly create value in any moment. And like, consider that is really the power to go and do anything that you want to do in your life. Because you can go anywhere, right, to anyone, and if you know and you have genuine power to be able to create value, you can go to them and you can create value for them, and you can exchange that value with them, right, and get what you need or what you want for your life. And that gives you true, genuine power to go anywhere and do anything. And so, like, putting these orbs into place is exactly like those sci-fi Egyptian movies, where suddenly all the lights come on and everything comes together when you tap into